So now it's my pleasure to invite Staffan up to speak. So Staffan is a registered nurse who uses his blog and podcast as avenues to express the many issues nurses go through. These include extremely long shift hours and staff abuse. He hopes for there to be more dialogue between staff and management to improve these matters.
Good evening, people, workers of Singapore. Happy Labor Day. Woo! I'm Staffan, a registered nurse. I would like to start by asking, has nursing lost its meaning? As a nurse, I often receive feedback from patients emphasizing on the long waiting hours in the emergency department. In addition, waiting time for admission in the ward can take up to 3 days. There are no nurses to attend to patients when the call bells are pressed. Treatments are delayed as the nurses has to look after a large number of patients. No one is free to feed the patients as they are attending to other issues. What are the nurses busy with if they are not at the patient's bedside? Healthcare is the foundation of our lives. Never was this clearer than when COVID hit. Whichever profession you are in, housekeeper, waiter, bus driver, minister, or even the president, when our health is compromised, we find ourselves heading to the hospital to seek treatment. How would we feel if we are stepping into a hospital with no nurses? All we see are patients screaming in pain, family crying for their loved ones, children panicking and running all over the place, and the dying people are left unattended. Is this the future we want? Yes. Nurses are leaving for many reasons. Crazy shifts that end late and have to start early the following day. Unjustifiable workload, that means they have to do OT, even when they are not getting paid to do OT. Shortage of manpower is a daily news. Unable to get the leave they need every year because there might not be any slots. Many are unable to be promoted because of the quota each year. But if the same staff decides to leave that year, the managers will tell that they are planning to promote the staff that year. A coincidence that happens every single year. Foreign staff have housing allowance, but the allowance does not match the high cost of renting a room in Singapore. Staff are abused, but it becomes our fault for not being able to handle the situation. Hospitals say that patients are our priority, but have you ever seen the higher management talking to a patient? How are we to learn the right things if the priority is wrong? Every year, many nurses are leaving the industry, but nothing is being done to make them feel valued. Yes, this year we have the staff retention bonus, but how long is that going to be able to keep us happy? How will it solve the many problems that we continue to face? Nurses are drained out and just looking for a place they can be happy to work at. Climbing the ladder at work might not be the focus anymore as their mental health is the priority. Nurses are still going the extra mile to care for the patients because that is what they are committed to. However, are the managers going the extra mile to look out for the well-being of the nurses? Yeah. Maybe if the management shift the idea away from making profit, medical tourism, or managing their reputation through the PR exercises, but instead focus on the well-being of the nurses, perhaps then more nurses will choose to stay on in hospitals. If nurses, doctors, and others who work in hospitals are well taken care of, patients will automatically be taken care of. Once they feel respected and valuable, they will continue to do more for the organization, and the manpower will increase too, as people are loving the culture there. Yes, the patients will always be flowing in, because people will always have health problems, but the culture of the workplace determines how the job is done. Nurses' wages needs to go up. We need a strict cutoff at 20-hour shift for all healthcare workers as the first step. This includes doctors as well. Eventually, once manpower can be increased, we need to move towards 12-hour shifts. No one should be forced to take on consecutive shifts. We deserve to rest. When we are exhausted, sleep deprived, we cannot care for the patients and we start to make more mistakes. Nurses also deserve to be paid during their lunch breaks, which we are not getting at the moment. Nurses like mothers, teachers, and others provide life-saving care. A Singapore that stands up for healthcare workers is one that goes further than just clapping for us. It is one that takes care of our well-being and let us thrive. Singapore boasts of World world-class healthcare institutions. But this cannot be true until the welfare of the workers, of the people who work in these institutions, are prioritized. Healthcare workers need to have the right to speak up for their working conditions without the fear of being fired. We need to be allowed to organize and demand for the rights we deserve. So workers of Singapore, will you stand with us? Yes. Power to the people. Okay. I would like to end my speech by asking you all one thing. Has nursing lost its meaning? Thank you.